What's up, guys? Welcome back to Backyard Wrenching MX. We're back at it again with the 1994 WR250Z. Today I want to take off the plastics in the seat and kind of take a look at the air box, specifically the filter, and see how dirty it really is. Judging how I got the bike, I would suspect it's really dirty. If you didn't check out my first video, I'll put a link in the description. Check it out, and if you like it, hit that button, and don't forget to subscribe. Alright, I got the two socket wrenches that I need to take the plastics off this bike. For this bike, it's a 10mm and a 5/16. Let's just go ahead and start digging in. Alright guys, what I'm doing right now, I'm just trying to take off all the plastics from the dirt bike. Kind of the overall goal at this point, what I was doing is removing the plastics in the seat to get access to that subframe. The airbox was sitting right under the seat, and I knew if I pulled that subframe off, I could get pretty good access and try to get to that air filter for a good cleaning. Boom, was that fast or what? I got all the plastics and the seat cover laying on the floor right there. What I like to do with all the nuts and bolts, put them in a little Ziploc bag and kind of label it. That way I know which goes to which. I don't want to mismatch anything. But my guess was kind of spot on. This air filter and air box is absolutely disgusting. All that dirt and grime kind of stuck on there. It needs to be taken out, the whole thing, and just kind of scrubbed thoroughly. I don't want any of this stuff going into the engine. The air filter is going to be really easy to take off. Normally when I clean an air filter, I just put it in a bowl with lukewarm water and some dish soap and just kind of wash thoroughly, but everyone's got their own technique. Alright guys, in order to make this a little bit easier, I'm going to loosen these subframe bolts right here. Take out this subframe bolt and disconnect the boot from the carburetor right here. It's just a little clamp. That way, once I do that, this whole subframe should just slide back and I'll be able to take the air box out pretty easily. Alright, I just got done taking the subframe apart. It's completely off the bike now. So I have it laying right there. I'm gonna go inside real quick and get another plastic bag so I can put these subframe bolts. That way I don't I don't misplace anything. So I took the boot off the carburetor, and I'm actually gonna get like a piece of plastic, maybe just zip tie it around it. That way nothing can get in there and gunk it up. So yeah. Progress so far, not too bad. Not too bad. Alright guys, now that the subframe is completely off and the carburetor is wrapped up, I just use a Ziploc bag and just kind of somewhat have it on there secure. That way nothing gunks up the carburetor. It's probably going to need a rebuild anyways, but we don't want to make it any worse than it needs to be. But here's the main thing that I really wanted to do for today, at least, was to get the subframe off and check out the air box, clean it out, and definitely clean this filter. So I'm going to go ahead and start taking apart the filter from the air box, and that way I can go ahead and prep it and get it ready to clean. Alright guys, as you can see, I got this dirty air filter out of the air box. I went ahead and went inside and got just a little mixing bowl and filled it with some lukewarm water. I'm just going to add some soap to it. Don't kill me about this. You know, this is the only soap I have right now. It's probably not ideal to doing this, but I'm going to rinse it really well nevertheless, so I don't think it's going to hurt it too much. I'm going to be getting a new air filter. I mean, they're cheap enough, but I'm going to keep this one just for a backup, because you never want to put a wet air filter back in the box and run your bike right away. It's just you want it to be 100% dry. So I'm just going to keep it as a spare until I grab a new one, but I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and clean this one up and see how it turns out. Alright, ready to wash this air filter. Let's go and pour in a little bit of soap. Kind of a lot actually, but One thing I will say, I always wear latex gloves when I deal with these air filters. You don't have to, but the filter oil that's applied to these filters is extremely sticky, and it just kind of annoyance for me, and it's hard to scrub off, so I'd rather just, avoid all that and just wear some latex gloves when I deal with this stuff. But yeah, that's just my little tip for air filters. All right, got my gloves on, and I decided to bring this outside. I didn't want to make a mess in my garage. I just don't want to deal with that. So I'm out here by the grass. So let's go ahead and dip this air filter into this bowl mixed with lukewarm water and some soap, and just kind of gently like slosh it around, you know, squeezing gently. You know, you don't want to squeeze too hard or, you know, manipulate it to a point where it tears. I mean, especially because you want to try to save the filter, you know, at least in my case. But you just kind of press around in here a little bit and get all that filter oil off of it. And it's gonna take a few minutes. It doesn't come off very easily. All right, this is the second bowl. I just put fresh water in this thing, and yeah, it's already turning. All right, that's as good as this thing's gonna get. Still not pretty, but you know, better than it was before. It's still got quite a bit of dirt out, and I think he over oiled this filter. I don't know, it's just stuck on there. But you know, I guess better to have, you know, too much oil than no oil, I guess. But yeah, I think we're done with this. All right, guys, I think we're gonna call it a day for now. Here's what the progress is so far. Subframe off, carburetor taped up, muffler off, plastics off. I put a blue tarp down over here, and just so I can keep track of all my parts and they're not spread out all over the garage. Like I said, since it is my first time build and I'm not so experienced at this, I just want to make sure to try to stay as organized as possible. So we kind of got everything laid out, and here's the subframe that I just finished up washing right now. I'll show you guys how it came out. It's not perfect by any means, but it came out a lot better. It's pretty clean now. I'll put it in a picture right about now so you guys can see the difference. What's up, YouTube? Thanks for watching part 2 of the 1994 WR250 rebuild. I think I've done enough for tonight, kind of calling it as it is, shutting the shop down and kind of cleaning things up a little bit. I'm thinking for the next video though, I'm gonna drain the gear oil, the coolant, pull the gas tank and carburetors, as well as the radiators, and probably gonna pull the pipe as well. If you have any suggestions on which order to pull them or any helpful hints, please put a comment in the comments below. And as always, if you like these videos, give it a thumbs up and like the video. And don't forget to subscribe.